I'm Intruder Green. You might know me from things like La Fuck Off, La Sante, and Marvel Contest of Champions. All right. Welcome to the Intruder Green podcast. It is the 16th of February. I just missed Valentine's Day, and I'm sorry about that. Seems like we could have done something real cool for Valentine's Day, but we just didn't. I hope you guys had a good one, though, and maybe made out with somebody real good, or maybe you were just like, man, I'm fucking single, and that sucks. But also, with pandemic times, it's probably going to be extra tough because like people can't even just like find a date or something. Or at least it's harder to do that, I guess. I don't know. It's about the same for me. So what the fuck do I care? Anyway, I hope you had a lot of those candy hots because those are delicious. And I don't know, maybe eat a cake or something. What do you do on Valentine's Day? You eat chocolates. That's what you eat. Delicious chocolate. Oh yeah. All right. I want to give a shout out to the producers of the podcast. We got Luke Ellis, Ren Sanz, Heather Royston, Gem City Sabrina, Vaughn Cotton, Sarah Koenig, Audacity Crash Clothing, Chelsea McNally, Cardboard Box Colony, and Carlos Hernandez. Thanks everybody for sticking in there during this break that I took. Seems like every January I end up taking a break, and I don't know why. It's just like, people want to party during the holidays, and then you hung over for like a month or something, and you don't do shit. It's a good idea, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's a better idea to keep doing stuff. So anyway, I'm getting back into it, guys. Thanks for hanging in there, though. And I got, more lined up, and I'm going to try to start cranking these out on a regular basis again. Like everything, life happens and stuff. But, I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Again, I got to say that. Hanging in there again. So, we'll start putting these out more and, make it worth your while because, people paying real money for this and I gotta make something for it. Anyway, if you want to become a producer of the podcast, you can hit me up at patreon.com/intrudergreen. And, like some people are on there for $1. Some people are on there for like $20. Some people are on there for like $100. Yeah, that's not true. Nobody's paying $100. But if you did, that would be amazing. All right. So anyway, we got Patrick Labbe on this episode of the podcast. He is a guy from Quebec City, I believe. And he does this really cool festival. I don't know if it's normally, it's in Quebec City. Basically, it's a real cool festival. I won't get too much into it because we talk all about it in the podcast. But, it's not happening for real this time, this year. So it's all online. And it's actually happening right now until the 20th, if you're hearing this on the release date. So you can just Google La Fuck Off. It's, oh God, it's LEPHOQUE off. Yeah, it's French. So anyway, it's a lot of French bands, like French Canadians and stuff. And it sounds pretty cool. They're not just doing like a regular a band plays in front of a camera kind of thing. Like it sounds like they're really trying to be like innovative and stuff about it. So that's real cool. And get on there. You can buy a ticket. I'm not sure how expensive they are. Probably not too expensive. But, it's for a good cause. And we talk about that in the podcast too, like helping out the real scene and not just dealing with whatever like Live Nation wants to put out there and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I hope you guys will take a listen and gain some knowledge about a fucking cool scene that's happening and some cool people doing cool things to support their scene. And without further ado, on with the show.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Intruder Green,
an inmate at the Durham Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1.
Come on, girl, now it's time to go to a place where nobody goes. In another town, on the other side of space.
had to reboot everything.
No problem. As you might notice, I got kind of a weird situation here with the camera and the microphone set up. So if I'm like not looking at you, it's almost like not worth having video for me. But you know, I don't know. It's nice to be able to see people, kind of. So anyway, I gotta like look. It's like I can look at you right now and speaking into the microphone, but if I actually want to look at the screen and see you, I gotta go like that.
That's honestly
Kind of weird. Yeah, I'm working on the situation. I don't have a studio exactly right now, so I'm like set up in the kitchen, as you can see, and you know, it's making me real hungry and stuff. Yeah.
We should print screen that actually.
Yeah, I know. I should probably start doing a visual thing. I think I could like make a extra special background for this too. They like let you do that.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We could have an evening drinking scotch and getting wasted with weird backgrounds.
That's true. We could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of which, yeah, you're in Quebec City, is it?
Yeah. I'm in Quebec City, a little north from Montreal.
Okay, yeah. I think we played Quebec City one time. Normally we play Montreal and skip over Quebec City, but like we got to do it one time. I remember it was really, really cold.
Yeah, well, when you're in winter here, it can sometimes it's kind of 5 or 10 Celsius degrees, you know.
Yeah.
So Fahrenheit, I don't know what it is, maybe 25 degrees difference.
Shit,
it's not that far, but you know we're just near the river, and all the cold stream comes down to the city. Like sometimes in the winter it's just crazy cold. I don't know what happened this year. The weather is quite good, actually.
Well, go figure the year that everybody's got to be like in lockdown and not go outside and stuff. You know, the powers that be, like God or whatever, like, haha, joke's on you, buds. It's real nice outside.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is great outside, and you just can't go, man. Just
That's
watch
right.
it from inside.
Yeah. All right. So So you're in Quebec City, and you know, like I said, we played there before. I don't remember the club that we played at, but
when was it?
Was a good show.
Do you remember?
Oh God, it was at least a couple of years ago.
Maybe Atlantis.
Oh, I don't know.
Imperial Theater.
Ooh, that sounds right. That could be it.
Imperial Theater on the St. Joseph Street, so it's in the lower part of the city, the main center part of the city.
Yeah, that's very possible. But honestly, I have no idea. I just remember like pulling up and like the whole street, like I don't know if we were behind the club or if we were like in front of the club, but the whole street was like ice. And it was like, yeah, it was weird times, but we got through it, and I think it was a good show.
Yeah, normally from December 1st, around December 1st to maybe late April, it's all ice, 3 meters of snow everywhere.
Yeah, I believe it.
Sometimes you're just stuck in the snow. You just can't move your car at all.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's not good if you're trying to like pull a job and you got to get away. You might be better off doing that on foot then.
Yeah, but like yourself, I've been in a band for many years, and I'm telling you something. When you tour with that kind of weather, that's fucking a pain in the ass, man. It's
yeah, you know.
Like imagine with your Ampeg 8x10 cab.
Oh yeah. We got one of those, I think.
Yeah, in a 3 meter.
It's like a refrigerator.
Yeah, but you're trying to push it in a street with 3 meters of snow. Like how the hell will you be able?
Yeah, no, it's rough, and them's the breaks. You know, that's what that's what you do for a good time sometimes, and you just got to get through it, I guess.
You must love punk rock, man.
That's right. You gotta love it. That's what they say, though, right? Like you better fucking love doing this. Because there's gonna be some times when you're gonna fucking hate it, even if you do love it, and your love for it will get you through. Yeah, I believe it.
You gotta love the road. That's all. You gotta love being like living the path and not just having the special moment on the stage because it's not long in a day.
That's
when
right.
you're on.
People think it's all glory and like partying and stuff, and it is, but it's also a lot of fucking hard work. You gotta fucking carry that big ass bass cab, drums, and nobody wants to do nothing. And then if you're in one of those bands where you got like a guy who just sings, a singer, and they're like, oh, I'm a singer. All I have to carry is my microphone, and I'm not gonna help with the drums and all that stuff. And you're like, well, you asshole. You're in a band. You help with the whole band. Yeah, that's a...
Yeah, well, we trained our singer back in the day,
good.
like 20 years ago, to actually pull the drums and the bass cabs with us because it was we once after a show early on, we just told him like, man, if you want to still be part of the band, you got to learn working with the band.
Yeah, I believe that to be true. By the way, I'm changing up the camera situation because I feel like this looks more natural. When I'm looking at you, when I'm talking, maybe I'm not looking at you, but now I'm like doing a thing.
All right.
So you're doing this. Well, like, tell me about your bands. Like, tell me about where you're from Quebec City originally, or did you move there because of the cool ass punk scene and because you love the weather, or what?
Well, I was born in a suburb here, 5 minutes apart of it. And like all kids, I was jamming in the bass, my parents' house. And early on, like I was maybe 14, 15 years old, we just jammed. We were jamming punk rock and grunge and metal. And suddenly, when we like maybe 20 years ago, I'm almost 40 now, but early in my 20s, the band started to get the more serious, and we started touring a lot with local bands. There was a band called JFK.
Oh yeah!
So it's an hardcore punk band. They were signed with the Propaganda label. I think it was G7 Will Coming back in the days, and we had great friends here in Quebec City in the punk scene. Actually, we were more of a metal and hardcore band, and all the scene here was punk. Like if you see behind me the skateboard there, it's a skateboard from Mute.
Yeah,
I think you guys played together in Europe back.
Oh yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's like from Quebec City in the late 90s and early 2000s, the punk scene was very big here. So basically, since everybody was playing punk rock, even though we were playing hardcore and metal music, we kind of were hanging out with these bands. Ended up playing Vans Warped Tour and all these kinds of more punk rock festivals or venues. And then we started touring in Europe in the 2010, around that, and made a bunch of tours there in France, Sweden. Yeah, basically that's it. We played a bunch of great festivals here too. But after we played together 18 years. So everything I'm doing is basically started from my experience as a DIY guy, punk rock, metal drummer. And all we do is like the festival that we started out was part of an answer to what we were seeing in the scene. Simply like we felt that the music industry here wasn't listening at all to what was happening really like in the street. Like the industry wasn't looking at us at all, but all our bands and our friends were touring everywhere in the world, but like nobody cared about us here.
Okay, so yeah, you're saying like some of the bands from around your area were like doing real well outside of your area, but nobody knew about them like enough there. Oh, I'm not sure exactly what you mean.
Yeah, well, like we had small public and fans here, but like the mainstream medias and the main music industries, because in Canada, in Quebec, it's not the same as it is in the States. Like the music business is very government. How would you say that?
Like regulated.
There are grants, there are a lot of grants.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing about that is Yeah, we don't get none of that in the state. I know that's like, well, go on. I don't want to like not let you finish your thought before I chime in, but I got an idea.
Well, basically, like I said, we were in the scene that the same that the same one that like the scene that if you work hard and you're good, you're gonna have success, but you have to build your success. You just can't be you can't have a steroid band just like a band that's fueled with government money,
Yeah.
and that's what we were striving for, and we were seeing all these other bands that were and all these other this industry, that fake industry to our eyes that was living there. We were like, man, what's happening? We must do something to create a voice, or we got to work together as DIYs bands, and we wanted to make the scene more like more together, actually, to have a unique voice and really stay strong in front of that fake industry to our eyes.
So how does that fake industry work exactly? I know you said you get like government grants, and that's very different from in the States, like you also said. Oh, well, like that shit just don't exist in the States. You don't get government money for being in a band in the United States. You don't, in fact, you don't get shit for being in a band in the States. You get some, like, maybe some drink tickets and fucking, hopefully you don't owe the bar more money than you made that night when you after playing there. So yeah, like, how does that happen with you guys?
Well, it's the same for us, like I said, there were two different paths. There was the path of what has been done prior to what we were doing that was very, very, very financed by the government.
Right.
So that doesn't give a lot of place to diverse other new ideas and new genres and new.
Is that because they, like, is there some kind of like government committee or something who gets to choose like what bands they approve or whatnot, or like what?
Well, no, but basically, that's why I'm talking about industry, is that like the grants were only going to the big producers.
Okay.
So basically, the big producers produce what works for them. So they normally don't take risks.
Oh yeah, that's classic. That's like, that's the classic in music or any kind of entertainment move. It's like movies too. Like anything. Any kind of big time entertainment, they don't want to take no risk. They want to keep cranking out the same thing over and over again because they know it sells.
And that's why I think the problem wasn't the grants at all. Like the whole idea, like, you guys in the States are so much more influent than we are in Canada, since your entertainment business gets in Canada, like, very, very I understand, and it's kind of like it's necessary for Canada to actually invest in the culture, because if they don't, like, there will not be any culture here. It will only be yours in our country.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a competition thing.
No, it's not a competition there. It's just that they want to give a chance to compete with
That's what I mean. Like, it's a competition with the US band, like you're just saying. Like, you want space for the Canadian band to exist on the same level, right?
Yeah, because here, like, for example, I was born here in Quebec. I grew up listening only to American bands.
Yeah.
And all my culture is from the United States. Yeah, I'm living in another world and I'm noticing another culture that's mine. That's Canadian or French Canadian, but like, I feel like an American. All I loved and all I watched in my life and all I read in my life and all I listened to was from the United States. So that's basically why they're investing money, so people can see that there is great stuff in the US, but also great stuff here.
Yeah, sure.
That's all. That their point is okay, but the way it was done, giving money to big producers that doesn't have a vision of what's cool and what's coming and what's in the street as as music genres and art and like what people are actually doing in the street.
Yeah.
Like they were disconnected. So like for us as artists, it was very frustrating because you'll never have any help from anybody. You need to go DIY straight up, and you need to try to enter that Anglo-Saxon network. That English United States, English Canada part of the network. And as French Canadian, it's kind of really hard because like there always been that kind of little war between French and English people here.
Oh yeah, we experienced a little bit of that ourselves.
Oh yeah? In our tour? In a tour?
Oh yeah, I think we were in what was it called? Chicoutimi? Is that a place? Yeah. Yeah, we were playing there with Me First and the Gimme Gimme.
Yeah.
And it was cool because it was the first time we like really got to hang out with those guys. But we went out to some bar after the show, and it was a great show. Like the crowd was great and everything. But I don't know. I guess that place is kind of like maybe like a smaller town, or it's not Quebec City or Montreal. I think Quebec City, Montreal, both those places, you kind of get a good, like, I don't know, when Americans are there, they're just kind of happy to like, have people play music and like, like hang out and stuff. Chicoutimi was a little different, like people there were kind of like trying to pick fights with us for not speaking French.
Oh yeah.
like at the bar and stuff. And we're kind of like, hey, we're just here for one night, like, I'm sorry, I don't speak French, but we were just in Europe, we were in 5 different countries where they speak different languages. We're not going to learn them all, bud,
No, it's impossible. When you tour, you're just like you said, sometimes you're not even 24 hours in the same city.
Yeah.
Impossible. But yeah, well, that's sad actually. your story is really sad to me.
Well, well, I'm sorry to bring it down, but it's like I said, like we never experienced that in like Montreal or Montreal or Quebec City. Like, I don't know. I think this was just more like of a kind of like I don't know if Chicoutimi is like a smaller town, but it seemed kind of like that. Like they had at least the people that were like giving us a problem kind of had that small town mentality, which like you get that anywhere. Like you get that in the States where people are like, hey, you ain't from around here, are you? And then like, they're like, oh, you're different. Let's fight about it or something. And it's like, come on, dude, like be cool. Like, and I don't even know if these people were like, they probably weren't even at the show. They were just like local yokels who were fucking hanging out and, probably didn't have a whole lot going on. So it's like, hey, those guys are different. Let's pick a fight with them,
Yeah, that's so dumb. Basically, like, and Chicoutimi actually is one of the cities that I think is one of the greatest place to play punk rock. They love punk rock there.
Well, like I said, the show was great. Yeah.
Do you remember where you played? Was it a festival called the Deluge Fest? Or
no, it was since we were on tour with the Gimme Gimmes. Actually, we weren't even on tour. It was right around I don't know exactly. It might have been like right around the time of
Pouzza Fest.
Pouzza Fest, yeah. But this was like obviously an off thing from that. And we did it was just one show with the Me First and Gimme Gimmes. Oh, it was Pouzza Fest because they played Pouzza Fest and we did too. So then we just did this other show. And it was at like a hotel or something in like a big, like, sometimes in like a big ballroom. I don't know what it was. Just some hotel with a big space for shows.
Yeah, okay. I see where it could be. Anyways, that's cool. But yeah, people in Chicoutimi, they don't speak English very much there.
Yeah, we noticed that too,
and
which is fine. Like we're the foreigners. We're there to like do our best to like present ourselves and like be cool with the people. And like I said, again, I just want to reiterate that. Like at the show, people were rad. People were cool. People were rowdy as hell too. Like they were partying and like we were hanging out by the merch after the show and people were just like, we couldn't tell what they were saying because it was all French, but they were just getting rowdy as hell. Like at the merch booth, fucking like, oh, the show didn't stop. We're still partying here. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, they are well known to be great party guys there. Like all the time that we've played there, we ended up shit faced.
Yeah. That sounds. So, I guess tell me a little more about this festival that you covered. Kind of like how you came up. It's basically kind of like it's kind of like a counterculture, right? Like you're trying to do a DIY and like really do that hard.
Yeah, exactly. We actually as an artist, I've been discovering how to manage bands, produce shows and everything, and I've crafted my work, and I've been knowing a lot of people like you and everybody in the industry, like touring for 20 years. You get to know so many people in so many different festivals, and you know what it means. But when I came back, there was a conference here for live arts, actually. That's called Rideau. And rideau means curtain, so the curtain of a stage.
Oh.
And like I said, this was representing what's supposedly up and coming. So all the venues from Quebec were going there, and they were looking to the next, like the showcase of bands and circus shows and theater shows that were coming in the next years. So they were kind of programming their offer for the next years at that conference. So it was a total industry thing, you know. It felt as musician, because all of my generation of musicians, we all ended up being like booking agent, record labels, or like we had a 400 jobs, you know.
Yeah.
And we were there at the conference, and we were like, man, that's so boring. Like everything that is presented there was so boring, and wasn't. Sometimes we didn't even heard about it ever because it doesn't exist. You know, it wasn't existing on the street. It wasn't there. Like people don't even want that.
Yeah,
people
right.
Don't do that. Like that's a producer that created that and just trying to feed you.
Yeah, you know, it's like you can poop something out and just be like, oh, here's a turd, and everybody knows it's a turd, but it's like they could just like pump enough money into it that people will be like, all right, I'll eat
I'll hit the turd, that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like, yeah, we were like, I've been there for 4 years as a professional there, as a conference participant. Like I was there, and I was talking to all my friends that had the same kind of profile in me. And we were like, man, we got to do something. We just can't let that happen anymore. We got to present artists that really are striving and really are presenting great art and great ideas and great songs. No matter what it is. If it's metalcore, okay. If it's like folk music, I don't give a damn, as long as it's good and that's real. Like we wanted real stuff to come out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we started out like in 2015. We put on one show.
So is that when it started? Was 2015?
Yeah, exactly. We put on one show, and what we did, like the place was called Le Pantoum Le Fuck, so it's sealed.
Yeah.
And we were an off event of the conference, so we called it Le Fuck Off.
Nice. That's perfect. That's like poetic. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And that's the name of the festival.
Yeah.
And the festival is all about liberty, like diversity and great values and it's a total DIY and punk thinking.
Yeah.
But we give chance to everybody. It's not only punk rock, it's all the genres, all kind of people, like native people, we just want to be humans and great for art, music. That's all. And so basically, yeah, we created that one show that was called Le Fuck Off in 2015, and we had 3 bands. And there was a band, the first band I signed as a label and book and manager is called Sandvice. We still work with them now, but at the time I signed them like 6 months earlier, and I was like, man, how the hell will I be able to promote an English singing, non-granted artist in Quebec City that played stoner rock music, you know?
Yeah.
That was so that was a sport, you know? And
Yeah, a challenge.
a great challenge. And I started that festival thinking, well, maybe if I invite all the festival programmers that I know, all the greatest festivals here, from Rockfest, Festival d'été, or Heavy Montreal, or name it, like we even invited all the people that we knew that were influent in the music business, and we just told them, hey, we're gonna put on a show, an off show from the other conference. Please come to Quebec City. And that show became one of the greatest showcases of all time. Like the three bands that we played there instantly blown up, you know. And like Sandvice, we've opened for Iron on Fire and Megadeth like 3 months later, and they played Heavy Montreal. They played all the greatest festivals here.
Oh yeah.
And then that was that created a spark. Like all the other agents, all the other labels were like, man, do that again next year. So the year after, instead of doing one show, we did 3, and the year after we did 7, and then the year after we did 25.
Yeah. Wow.
And now, like last year, we had 125 bands.
Wow.
In 3 days, you know.
So what kind of like festival is it normally? Like, is it kind of like a Pooza Fest or a fest where you do like multiple clubs all over the city?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everything, actually, where you played in Quebec City, the Imperial Theater, probably. That street has like 6 venues.
All right.
And there's a lot of venues in the streets near that. In maybe 500 meters, we have 12 venues, and we all occupied them. And when you come to the festival, all the shows begins very, very, very late, like at 10 p.m.
Okay.
It's normally from 10 to 2, like that. And that's funny because we're one of the only festivals that begins on a Sunday night and ends up on the Thursday night. So like,
well, then they got the weekend to sleep off the hangover, right?
Exactly. So like, that's cool because, you know, it's the beginning of the week. It's fucking cold outside, like it's minus 25 degrees Celsius, and we start at 10 p.m. in the night. So basically, you will die after that festival.
Well, I hope. I mean, honestly, that could happen. So I hope that doesn't. But you know, like whatever.
Well, and yeah, that's cool because like it's a conference and showcase and shows festival. So we have parts of like we could, for example, have you guys playing a Friday night prior to our conference timetable.
Yeah,
we'd invite bands that are gonna play the festival and the real shows, but as soon as we start the conference part of the festival, it's only 20 minutes sets, and there's like 20 shows at the same time. You can just jump from one show to another.
Sure.
Yeah, like you like a band at 10 p.m., you see 20 minutes, you go right off at the next street, and you see that other band for 20 minutes and jump off, and you can see 15 bands in your evening.
Those are my favorite. That's, you know, that's pretty much kind of like well, I guess Pooza's kind of like that, and Fest in Gainesville's kind of like that, and that's my favorite thing, you know, like just to like be able to get in just like, I don't know. My whole thing is I always make a list of all the bands I want to see. I end up seeing like maybe like 2% of them, but I end up seeing a shit ton of other new bands that I fucking like end up falling in love with and stuff. So and also just hanging out with friends. That's also sort of
exactly.
thing.
And that's what's cool about that kind of fest. I don't remember who I was talking, but we compared that kind of festival as being maybe the new kind of MTV. You know, it's it. Back in the days, you were discovering bands on MTV.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
And now it doesn't exist anymore. But you get to party with friends and festivals that presents to you a lot of bands that you don't even know about, and that you're probably, like you say, fall in love with them and start having a conversation with them over the years, and like they're going to be part of your life for a long time.
Thanks for listening to the Intruder Green podcast. By now you probably heard about our sponsor, Stupid Rad Merch Company. And if you haven't, then listen up, because I gotta tell you, Stupid Rad Merch Company is a great web store with a bunch of your favorite bands at stupidradmerch.com. And if you're in a band and need some work done, they can get you totally covered for a modest price and super quick turnaround time. But don't just take it from me. Here's what the ladies from Bad Cop had to say about it.
Comes up with great ideas. It's always pushing, always moving.
Simeon is delightful to work with. He's very responsive and professional, and
It's the quality of the shirts. I like.
yeah, high quality.
Very well done. Very well done on the ink.
It feels like a family again. It
Yeah.
feels like it's a place where you can trust what's happening.
And don't forget to use the code PRISON at checkout and get a 15% discount on all Stupid Rad branded apparel. That's PRISON, I think. I don't really know how to spell, but those are the letters they told me to say. StupidRadMerch.com.
StupidRadMerch.com.
Guitar players, I bet you thought you were shit out of luck when it comes to finding your dream guitar or amp. You know, you go on some auction site or something and it's all crap. Yeah, well that's because, you know, you gotta look in the right place. And the right place is Yeah Man's Vintage and Used Guitars. They got exactly what you're looking for. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't they located in like Switzerland or something? Yeah man, they are. Bern, Switzerland to be exact. But you know, you can get on the internet and you can go check out their website, yeahmansguitars.com, and you can order stuff on there. So, you know, it don't really matter where the heck you are in the world. You can just get on their website and find all sorts of cool stuff that you're looking for. And you might not even know that you wanted it until you see it on there. And there's a lot of good stuff. If you got something specific you're looking for and need some help finding it, just hit up Yeah Man Guitars on the electronic mail. That's the email. It's like 21st century and you got email and websites. It's like amazing. Some people will call it magic. Some people will call it science. I just call it, I don't know, crazy shit. yeahmansguitars@gmail.com. As far as email goes, it's where you email them. And while you're at it, get your band a tour in Europe and stop by the shop. Michael and the rest of the crew would love to meet you, I'm sure. And you could tell them Green sent you. Yeah Man's Vintage and Used Guitars. Well, that's actually, you know, that's amazing that you brought that up because, you know, another way to find out about new bands back in the day was like compilation CDs and stuff like that. But like nobody's buying CDs no more. Everybody's streaming stuff and it's like you can listen to exactly what you want to listen to. So there's no point in like, you know, there's no compilations around it. So like, yeah. It totally makes sense. Like if you want to find out about new music, yeah, you could like listen to this fucking, I don't know, one of those streaming sites. They always do like the radio thing, but that shit is pretty fucking lame as far as I could tell. Like the stuff they bring up is just it's all mainstream. And it's like, I'll be listening to some fucking like, I don't know, some cool shit. And then the stuff it suggests is like totally off. And I'm like, that's not what I want to hear. You stupid computer. And then
it's a robot like telling you what to say, what to listen to, and it's
exactly
like music. It's a human thing, you know. You gotta feel things. You gotta feel things, and you gotta have tastes, and you gotta. That's why to me, when I was a young kid, MTV and in Quebec, Musique Plus and Much Music here in Canada, like these TV stations were a religion to me, you know.
Oh yeah.
They had music influencers there. They are music curators, and that's what the festivals, and specifically our kind of festival like the Poudza Fest and ours, we are becoming these kind of music curators, and like the people at the program, the music direction of the festival, myself and Yannick with me, like we really want to make feel things to people, present them best thing that we've found over the years, or over the year actually. And that reminds me a lot of what I was doing when I was working in a record store back in the days. Like people were coming to me and asking me, what should I listen to this week? And I was man, listen to that band. Listen to that new artist. That's incredible. You're gonna love that. I know you love that kind of vibe. So listen to this. It will take you from there to there, and then we're gonna be able to build you up on another path, And I see our job in the festival the same way.
That's
I really
great.
do.
I think that's a great mentality to have for doing what you're doing. I appreciate that. And I think that, that there's sort of like been a gap because obviously, there's still record stores around, but probably not nearly as much, as how long ago were you doing that? Working at a record store?
Well, I was working in HMV back in early 2000s, so I was there from 2000 to 2006 or something like that.
Yeah, so that was like, that was a good time to be working at a record store, probably. But that, I feel like they're all struggling these days because like nobody's buying that stuff no more. But that is part of that's always been that. And like, I think music festivals and record stores, like that's part of the heart and soul of like music. Like you said, that's awesome. People come in and like ask you what to listen to and stuff. That's way cooler than just like, oh, what's on the radio? Oh, okay, I guess I like this now. Like, no, get into like ask a fucking pro. Your pro is going to be the guy who fucking schlepping records every day. Like the guy works and lives in a record store. That's great. So I think your heart is like right where it needs to be for this kind of business. But I did want to ask, when I was looking up, I was trying to like get research on the festival, and it was hard to do because everything I found was in French.
Yeah, well, it's the first year that we're really like exporting the festival and working on our network outside of Quebec. So yeah.
Oh, really?
We never did the translation before, and we're working right on this right now. So next year should be French and English.
So, well, that's pretty cool then, because it's like doing this citywide festival, but it's basically like it's really for French Canadians.
Yeah, well, I think it's worse, or
like maybe until this year.
Yeah, well, we worked with a lot of bands from elsewhere. Like, for example, 2 or 3 years ago, we had Brazilian band, but it was always a way of like the way we work it is that we take bands from Quebec City and the province of Quebec and Canada and make them come here in Quebec City, play, and try to join them. Like, we want to, for example, if your band was starting right now and we felt in love with your band and we were like, man, that band must be like pushed and be like, we are gonna try to create the right fit and put you with another great artist that is gonna like attract people like influencers and music curators that are gonna see that band, and then your band's gonna be watched by those guys too, and you're gonna get the chance that you never basically.
Of course.
So yeah, we always try to sneak artists from here, or like from the mission that we gave ourselves. We try to put these bands with other great bands that are gonna give them a chance. But since our public is more built of music professional in the industry, well, like, if you have a great show, you might have a great success in the next year. Because everybody's going to see you.
That's great. I think that is an awesome thing. And the fact that you're just starting to like kind of I guess broaden it. Are you trying to kind of go more outside of Quebec City, obviously, because you're on the internet this year because of everything that's going on? Is that a goal though, like to kind of broaden things more in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it's always been our vision. It's the same vision that I had with my band.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, when you're a French Canadian stuck in Quebec City, trying to enter the international English speaking circle, like the network from the music business, it's almost impossible. Like, nobody's here. Nobody's here, and it's about who you know most of the time. You gotta have access to people, and they
Oh
invite you.
yeah, I mean it's always like that. Yeah, it's always about who you know.
And that's what we started to create in Quebec City back in 15 years ago. Like, we've decided to stay in Quebec City and create a scene here and try to invite people in the music business and try to create bridges actually for the bands here. And that's the whole point of the festival. That's why we're broadening it this year. We really wanted to give these artists a chance to get listened by, to be listened by people elsewhere. And we also want people elsewhere to know that we exist, so they come here and enter our market. So we really want bands to come and play in Quebec City, because since we have the venues like the talent buyers that we have in our festival, like, they don't know you, so come and play here so that they know you, and they will be programming you after that. So that's what we're trying to create as a synergy, or we really want to get the ball rolling.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your take on that too, with basically just hunkering down and trying to basically improve your own scene. It's kind of like when people, in any kind of social situation, they're like, oh, we could go somewhere else and try to be famous, or we could try to just like make this place cool. And from touring around the world and like meeting all sorts of places, or going to all sorts of places, meeting all sorts of people, those are always the coolest places. Like when people really have a dedicated like local scene and people who are dedicated to making that scene cool. And it sounds like you're doing a great job, Ed. I think, this festival is probably like the perfect way to do that.
Well, thank you, man. Because like we do it from the bottom of our heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. We really believe that, like, artists here are great, and we feel that they need to be heard elsewhere. And we also feel that people here needs to listen to bands from elsewhere too. Because, like I said, I don't believe in that kind of like that separated culture. I don't believe in that. I believe in a world that everybody's open-minded and like doesn't give a damn about if you're an American or an English Canadian or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it should be becoming easier, especially with the internet and people being able. Well, not this. Normally, people can move around, and I think that's just the way to go. Like, that's what you want. That's what everybody should want. And the only reason that you got like pushback from that, like people who, I don't know, have like something to lose from that. And those are not necessarily the best people in the world when they got something to lose from, people, getting together and realizing that they're not so different. And the differences that they have, although they might be special, but like, it's like, oh, let me broaden up your life and put a sparkle on your day by being somebody weird that you just met, and now we'll get along and go see a show, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. And like one of the statements that I remember the most was back in the few years back, maybe 6, 7, 8 years back, I was in Austin by Southwest.
Oh yeah.
And like, I remember getting out of the plane, and like the city phrase is "keep Austin weird."
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I was like, man, I want my city to be saying that, like,
yeah.
That, please be open-minded and be weird, please. And I wanted to like it's one of our goals actually. We want to make sure people here get crazy and stay crazy.
Oh yeah, that's good. Well, I think you're on the right track with that, and I'm excited to see where this festival goes. I'm glad that Melanie K hooked us up, because otherwise I wouldn't have probably known about this festival. And it's a cool thing to get into. Where can people find out more, and like where can they find out more about you personally if they want to? Like, are you on the socials or whatever?
Me, my person, or the festival?
Well, all of the above, like if you want to put yourself out there, feel free. I know we're mainly talking about the festival, but yeah.
Well, I'd say well, I don't really give a damn about myself. So I'd say you'd be better looking at fuckoff.com, but not fuck F-U-C-K, but fuck in French, so like it's seal. So if you Google translate it, it's fuck PHEOFF.com. And I think if you put the Google translator right on it, you're gonna have the.
Oh yeah, there's ways to do it with technology.
And if you want, like, what's cool about this year is that since it's virtual, we did less bands than the years before, because we all filmed everything. And we created shows and specific lighting and visual projections for all the bands. So we really put the bar very, very high.
Oh, that sounds great.
And all the filming, we filmed the 20 bands in Quebec City. Did the same last week in Montreal. And like, for example, we have a post-hardcore band called Milan Coup that plays in a 360 dome.
Yeah.
And everything is like, feels like they play in space, man. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I was picturing.
Yeah, and then it's totally crazy. And that's what we did, actually. We wanted to put on videos that people would be like, man, that's awesome quality. It's better than what you're gonna see, probably. Like, we really, really worked a lot on that, just because we wanted to create something that people would love and connect with the artist, because it's so hard to connect with the screen,
Oh yeah.
And for only $12 Canadian, so in US probably it's 20 cents.
Yeah, nah, we're not doing that good. I don't know.
Maybe $5. I don't know.
It's yeah, maybe 20 cents in GME on the stock market.
But yeah, $12 Canadian bucks must be at worst maybe $7 I don't know.
Oh yeah, at least.
Something like that, and you're gonna get all the shows from all the week. It's a festival badge, and you get to see all the bands all night.
Yeah.
For all the week. And we have bands from Mexico this year. We have bands from Catalonia, from Barcelona, everywhere in Quebec, in Montreal, in Canada. So yeah, honestly, there are great, insane artists, and I wish people are gonna be open-minded and just try to see what you get. Actually, it's cheaper probably than Netflix, and you're gonna have 10 days of music. So
well, yeah, and it's more worth it than Netflix. You pay so much for that stuff, and it's like, all right, there's like 5 good movies that I actually want to see, and a whole bunch of crap. But then, you pay for something like this, you're supporting a scene, you're supporting fucking local DIY musicians, and yeah, it's good. Do it.
And also, I want to say, like, there are 2 experiences this year in the festival.
Yeah.
That, like, the public experience is the one that you stream it. You can watch on your TV if you want. It's from you can buy the tickets on our website, but also on the pointofsale.com. And you get, each night you're gonna receive by email a link that sends you the link for the stream.
Okay.
You can watch it on your computer, and if you want, you can chat with people in the room while you watch the show.
Nice.
But you can also just stream it on your TV if you want. And the professional part, the conference part, and you're invited, man. If you want, we like the conference part. Everybody that works within the music industry, from like right into it or far from it. Like, for example, someone that draws album arts, for example, would be invited as a pro.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like all
just anybody who's
anybody that gives a damn about the music business, and that's far, like from closer to farther in the music business. So probably your guitar tech or your sound man would be more than welcome in our professional edition. And for that, since everything is about networking and like the connection, we've created an online community. It's a private community. It reminds a little. It's like if Facebook was private and we had our own Facebook.
Oh yeah.
So you can chat, you can video chat, be part of rooms, like really participate to panels and conferences and everything in the event, and you can watch the shows with other pros. And like for example, if your record label, your DIY record label wants a stand to promote your band, you can also have a stand in our community. And like it's really built to create a scene and a way for people to discuss and create bridges, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And we pushed that even farther this year. Each morning we're gonna, like, we have a huge European and Asian and African network. So each morning we're gonna have like early morning cocktails at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and we invite all the European people to go in our platform. We've created worlds in virtual reality. So basically, you enter in worlds that, like for example, in a cloud world, like an invented, like created cloud world, and we like the video that we have right now, like the Zoom video from your computer is applied on your avatar, and you become an avatar and you can talk to people in the world. So you really network like you'd be in the real room. The closer you're from somebody, the more you're gonna hear it. If it's behind you on your right, you're not gonna see it, but you're gonna feel it's behind you on your right.
Okay.
And we put on shows in these worlds.
All right.
So the closer you're from the stage and the world, the more you hear the music, and you can watch the shows with your friends in that world. We could go together, watch a show, and chat while we listen to the show.
Well, that sounds pretty amazing. I don't completely understand what you're saying, but it's definitely like intriguing, and I think I need to check that shit out.
Well, just ask Melanie for a badge.
Yeah.
All you and all your friends, just on the website, you can ask for a professional badge. You're gonna get this experience.
I would love to. I think I will have to do that, especially because it seems like, it sounds very what's that word, where you do stuff that's not been done before, and I don't know, whatever that is. What's that? Innovative. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But see, the French guy's giving me lessons in English, and that's probably a good idea. But anyway, we're going a little long here. We should probably wrap this up. I got one more question for you, unless there was anything else you want to throw out there.
I'm good.
All right. Well, because it's the Intruder Green podcast, the main theme is crime stories. And so I got to ask, crime stories, do you got any?
In a personal level?
Oh, yeah. It can be, I like crime to leave it broad. Crime story. You can make one up. You could tell one about yourself. You could tell one about a friend, or, whatever you want.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember.
I even had somebody plead the fifth one time and not tell one. And I was like, well, you pled the fifth. So that's kind of like a crime story right there. But, like, I don't want to let everybody get away with that.
Wait a crime. Like, I remember I have a lot of weird tour like stories, but were they crime?
Oh,
we never got into prison,
Well, if you get away with it, I guess, some people like to say, like, if it's not a crime if you got away with it, but, like, whatever. That could still count when it comes to this.
Crime. Maybe, that's a crime. Yeah, okay. We were in France.
Oh, yeah.
We were in France in the southern southern eastern part of France.
Yeah.
Near Marseille, but
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, did you go to Chateau d'If and go with the guy with the iron mask?
well, no, it wasn't. It was a little north from Marseille. I don't remember the city. I'm sorry, but anyways,
That's okay.
we were there, and it was right before Christmas, so maybe December 10th or 15th, something like that.
Yeah.
And in France, they love to have their apéro, and they drink.
Yeah.
They drink they drink at 6 p.m. and they have a few drinks prior to dinner at 9 p.m. something like that. So late in the afternoon, maybe it was 4 or 5. We've decided to go to a. We had an off day on tour. I think it was a Monday, something like that. And we went to a little bistro. And while we were walking to the bistro, we were kind of feeling that something was gonna happen,
Okay.
And there was a lot of we were between gangs, and gangs kind of really the tension was up, but we didn't knew what was gonna happen. So that was it. And then we came to that bistro, and in the Christmas time, they drink hot wine with with spices.
They do that in Germany too. Yeah.
So
blue one.
So they gave us that, and we were like, "What the fuck is that?" And
It's delicious.
Well, it's good because it's alcohol, but but it's not that fun to drink,
It's like, oh, it just tastes terrible. Has it got booze in it? Yeah. Oh, I guess I'll drink it.
But yeah, we were there, and we were drinking that, and it feels slow. It's comfy, it's warm wine, and you're in the middle of France. It's almost Christmas. The vibe was cozy, and suddenly, man, everything blew up. All the windows, the everything exploded, and there was a bunch of people entering the bistro.
Whoa!
With gases, and the fight just began so fast. So I wasn't the crime one. I wasn't doing any crime, but we were kind of stuck in a gang fight. I don't know.
That sounds crazy. Yeah.
And man, that was fucking scary, honestly. I remember I was sitting at my table, and I was looking 1 meter across, 1 meter from my foot.
Yeah.
A dude was getting banged up crazy. He was almost dead, right? And I was still drinking my warm wine, not saying anything, and it was.
But you were just kind of oh wow, this is an interesting show.
Well, we didn't know what to do.
Right.
It was so instant, it just happened. It happened, and we didn't know what to do with that at all. And it took, I don't know, 45 seconds, and then everything was done. We just couldn't do anything, and we just tried to help the guys after that.
Yeah.
We just couldn't tell what just happened.
Right? Yeah, because it's who?
It happened too fast,
Yeah, of course.
And then all the old story with the ambulance. That was we had to tell. We tried to explain what happened. Who might be the crime guys?
Yeah.
We didn't knew at all. They were masked.
Oh yeah, that's the way to go.
It wasn't you though.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not. Maybe not. We don't know.
That's gangs are too much like organized crime. We're very disorganized, allegedly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's my crime story.
Well, I appreciate that one. That's real interesting. That's kind of terrifying, but also he's one of those moments where you kind of holy shit, this is happening. Okay, and then it's over, and then you're like, well, that just happened. What next? Well, anyway, Patrick, it's been a pleasure talking to you and getting to meet you. I appreciate what you're doing with this festival and everything. Yeah, and I will definitely tune in.
Well, man, hope to see you not in the pit, but in the virtual reality world.
Yeah, maybe in the pit one of these days, a year or two or something.
Yeah, man, in the pit in 2 years.
Yeah, sounds good to me, buddy. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that's it for the Intruder Green podcast. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Intruder Green. The Intruder Green call-in line is +1 608 535 9608. Patreon.com/Intruder Green if you want to become a producer of the show. The Intruder Green podcast is produced by Colin Bennett, hair and makeup by Genevieve Smith, set design by Dylan Rama, catering by Matthew Hendershot, lighting, Squeak Lights, Rahway, New Jersey. Our theme song is Particles by Type Bros. Every day's the 14th.